Arunachal Pradesh, the northeasternmost state of India. Never heard of it? Well, you're not alone because most people in India still go blank when they hear this place's name. In a way, it kind of turned out for the best, I feel, because this is like the true heart of the country in some way mysterious, unspoiled, and beautiful. Home to such biodiversity, something you've never seen before. I was visiting this place after like a decade, and my first instinct was to go to my favorite spot, take a cup of tea, and kind of like breathe in the whole beauty of this place. We stopped by this roadside tea shop in Putin. This is actually the place wherein you get a very good view of Ranganadi hydropower project. And if you're a bird fan, you may even end up spotting some ducks. On our way back, we kind of stopped by a village. The villages out here are quite different than the rest of the country. If you notice, the houses are made of bamboo and they kind of have a raised platform with pillars underneath it. They still practice wet rice cultivation, and this place was looking totally magical with hills surrounding it. There are around 60 tribes here, and most people still follow a very traditional lifestyle. This concept of carrying loads on a basket suspended over your head is a very unique concept which is common across this part of Asia. Here in this village, they had also started growing oranges locally. It was going around the whole state, but they had their own orange farm and they took us around. The place was really beautiful. Hills all around, and on the slopes, they had cultivated oranges. The trees were full of orange bunches and they looked all ripe and orangey. We also met these villagers on our way, and they were kind enough to tell more details about their farms. Their farm had like 200 trees, and revenue earned from each tree was around 5,000 to 6,000 rupees. Pretty good business, I would say. And just like that, we spotted the state animal locally called as Mithun. Okay, not the hen, but the one behind it. The next place on our list was a fish farm. Actually, Arunachal Pradesh is quite famous for river angling, but now they have legally stopped it. So in its place, they have started these fish farms wherein you can go and still experience the river angling kind of a thing, but it's done in a pond. We kind of hooked some food onto that bamboo and waited for hours and didn't catch anything. The people next to us caught some really good fish. We were just not lucky enough. Right next to this place was a root bridge. It was not the real root bridge kind of a thing made of tree roots, but it was still quite close to it. And I kind of liked walking around it, kind of gave me a rustic feel. As I watched the river gushing just underneath it and the hills around it, it was kind of peaceful and scary at the same time. The next day we drove to Itanagar, which was actually the capital of the place. It hardly has a population of 60,000 people, but it's located at an elevation of 320 meters. Our first stop that day was at the Gompa. It is perched on a small hill and has beautiful views all around. With all the prayer flags fluttering and prayer wheels spinning, it kind of felt like we were teleported into some Zen kind of a landscape that day. It was really peaceful out there. If you're visiting Itanagar, then do visit this place. The next stop was the Ganga Lake. It is a very famous lake. Up the stairs you go, and then you get to see this beautiful lake out there. Not too many people, but the trees and the surrounding areas are quite good. They even have a trail around it, and that day was pretty good and we walked around the place. While walking around, I kind of felt like the trip was coming to an end and went about reminiscing my whole visit to this place. It was very short trip, but I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, this place is a must see if you're visiting India. This is like the tip of the iceberg. The state has a lot of other places too. Hope you guys had fun watching this. See you guys next time.